All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well. JP Koster, coming to you live from Cape Town. I hope you're all doing very, very well. It's a very, very stormy evening here this evening in Cape Town. We're expecting lots and lots of rain. But just a little bit about myself before we get going. We've got some great guests, distinguished guests that are going to be sharing this evening. And just a little bit about myself. I've obviously been part of Manatech for just over 12 years, got involved as a student looking for a way to earn extra income. And my word, what a journey it's been over the last 12 years, just to see what this product has done for so many people out there, the better quality of life they've got, the opportunity for people to start their own business and earn extra income. And I mean, boy, through these times we've been in, over the last 3 months, I mean, how many people out there are looking for ways to diversify their income, looking for a home-based business, but more importantly, to go do something where you can really make a massive impact in other people's lives. So what we're going to do this evening is we're going to have a few people that are going to share a little bit about themselves, why they're part of the company, why they're excited about this, and why they believe that Manatech is the right place. And I think for me, one of the most important things you can do is always being at the right place at the right time. And I think if you're on the call this evening, you are at the right place at the right time, because life's all about timing. There's never been a better time to start than this evening. If you're on the call for the first time, and if you've been part of Manatech for a while now, what a great opportunity to relaunch your business, because there's so many exciting things happening. We had a home meeting at my home last night, and just to see what the product is doing for people, and just to see how open people are, to do something where it can make a massive impact in the world. So what we're going to do this evening is we're going to have a few people who are going to share just quickly, and then I'm going to just cover the little bit about the company. We'll cover some of the core products, and then I'll just run through the compensation plan. So it's not going to be a long-winded sort of presentation this evening. We're going to try and keep it sweet and short. And also, well done for you for being on the call this evening. I think one of the biggest lessons I always learned was of success is really just showing up. And thank you for taking the time out. I mean, it's obviously going to be half an hour, 45 minutes of your time, but this could be one of the best investments you make if you open your ears and open your mind, open your heart. It's really going to be something that's going to be really, really revolutionary if you really take it to heart. And so what we're going to do is, first up, I've got a very good friend of mine, also been part of the company for quite some time, Gary van Aswegen. He's a presidential director, him and his wife Charmaine, also building an amazing team. So I'm going to ask Gary just to briefly share quickly, why he's on board, why he's excited about this. So Gary, I'm going to just quickly do I'm just going to quickly mute myself, and then I'm going to just quickly do a spotlight video on you. So if you can let your video or pin your video at least, if you can go live, and then we're going to be over to you.
Hi, James, can you hear me?
Gary, we can hear you, but I've got no video.
Yeah, I see. I'm trying to start the video from my side as well, but it's not allowing me to do so. I'm not sure if you can maybe start it from your side.
Okay, so I've made you a co-host, so it should work now. Okay, there we go. Great. Okay, awesome, Gary. All over to you.
Perfect. Okay, great. Thank you, James. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak tonight, and a good evening to everybody from Standerton. Not as cold in Standerton tonight. I think the weather's starting to turn for us. It's been an extremely cold winter, but things are slowly but surely heating up, which is great. So from my side, for everybody that's brand new tonight, I think it's quite overwhelming starting out, because there's quite a bit of information being thrown your way. But I'd really like to encourage you to work through what's going to be shared tonight very diligently, and obviously get back to the person who invited you as well to fill in all the gaps. For me, there are a couple of reasons I chose Manatech. Starting out, I wasn't fully aware of what I was getting myself into. And what I mean by that is I was looking to build an extra stream of income to help people with the product. And eventually it ended up becoming a full-time income. And we've actually traveled the world with Manatech. We've seen over 9 countries to be exact, all expenses paid. So and we've helped many others do the same. So it's an incredible opportunity, and it's way more than just a product. It's way more than just a business. It's way more than just a means of earning income. I think it's all encompassing. It is a platform and a system that really allows for true freedom. And what I mean by true freedom is to express yourself and to live a life where you live it on your own terms. You decide when you want to work, you decide where you want to work, and you also decide who you want to work with. It's interesting. I've been working through a book called The 4-Hour Work Week, and it talks about those 3 W's. Where do you want to work? When do you want to work? And who do you want to work with? And that's really something that Manatech allows you to choose, which is really beautiful, because we've been so conditioned to think as employees would, that we have to work for the rest of our lives and then work for something called retirement. But in Manatech, it's a completely different ballgame. We don't talk about retiring, we just talk about refiring, and the residual income opportunity that's available is really amazing. Another thing that's great for me is that it's a turnkey business. So you don't sit with stock. You don't have the old school way of doing business where you need to invoice anyone. You don't need to deliver products. You don't have to worry about any research or logistics with regards to the product. It's a full-on entrepreneurial experience where everything's been put in place for you. All that we really do is we're the mouthpiece, and we share this with our world. So it's not complicated in that sense. It's really simple, not easy, but it's simple. The way that it's been put together is amazing. So for me, no better opportunity than Manatech, undoubtedly. Whether you are in a full-time job, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, you could be a rocket scientist for that matter. It's really something that fits for everybody. So I really want to encourage you once again, take a good look at this opportunity tonight. Don't take it lightly. You might think that this is just going to be another business in a box with a bunch of products. It's undoubtedly not. It's way, way more than that. So Jabs, I'm going to hand back over to you. Have a great evening, guys.
Awesome, Gary. Thank you very, very much. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate that. So next up, we're going to have Nicola Simon, who's a bronze presidential, knocking on the door of silver presidential. So Nicola, if you can maybe just share with us for just like 2 to 5 minutes, it'll be great to see sort of, just share your story. Why are you doing this? Why are you excited about this?
Thank you, JP, for the privilege to share on this platform tonight. Yes, tomorrow it will be exactly 3 years ago that I said yes to something I knew nothing about. But my, oh my, am I glad I did. And on this note, I want to say thank you to Bronze Presidentials, Rian and Erika Erasmus, for giving me this wonderful opportunity in life and for taking me by the hand, helping and guiding me right from the start. And also to my counselors and mentors, Silver Presidentials, Jacques and Hilda Marais. Thank you so much for all your love and support and time you invest in me and my team. And yes, my team, without you guys, there was no me. You are really amazing, and I'm truly blessed with the best. So I initially joined Manatech for an extra income to help support my husband financially. We were in our early 30s, still young parents, and just wanted to give our children the life every child deserves. But already at that young age, we were in a lot of debt due to a couple of wrong choices we made along the way, and also a few dry years on the farm, which put a huge knock on both my and my husband Harald's income. And also during that time, I had to sell my vehicle because I just could not pay the installment anymore. I was working for a well-known insurance company. I sold crop insurance policies to farmers, but without a vehicle, I just could not service my clients the way I should. So we desperately needed a miracle to get out of all our debt, and Manatech was that miracle. I'm so, so grateful to my Heavenly Father who brought this on our path and for His guidance every day. And I will be forever grateful that I said yes to this opportunity. But I must say, success didn't come overnight. It was hard work and it took a lot of time and effort. I also had to learn new skills, and I have to step out of my comfort zone. I had to learn to love to read. But as they say, to have the things others don't have, you have to do things others won't do. And that is exactly what I did. And was it easy? No. But was it worth it? Absolutely yes. Within 7 months in Manatech, my Manatech salary equaled my crop insurance salary. And every month, my Manatech salary just grew bigger and bigger. After 2 years being part of Manatech, I was in the position to quit my full-time job and am now a proud Manatech ambassador. Today, 3 years later, I did not just get an extra income. I now have more time with my family. I'm a stay-at-home mommy. I can support my kids at their school activities, and I grow as a person. I developed into a leader. I'm traveling the world with my husband, and we are on the edge of qualifying for our 3rd incentive trip. And this year, we are taking our 2 kids with us to an all-expenses-paid holiday to Mauritius. So if I can leave you with something Sir Richard Branson once said, and that is, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure you can do it, say yes, and then learn how to do it later. And never, ever quit. Thanks, JP.
Awesome, Nicola. Thank you very much for sharing. I can see your office is looking very, very neat and tidy. And I love what you said there. You know, you started the business to help your husband. I think it's so amazing about, you know, what we're involved in is it's really a team effort. And you know, it's so amazing for me just seeing over the last sort of 12 years, seeing people from all different types of backgrounds that are getting involved in what we're doing. You know, in the beginning when I got involved, to be honest with you, it was something that, you know, that wasn't sort of very well known. Network marketing, people were very sort of, for lack of a better word, allergic to it. And it's amazing to see how this industry has grown over the last 10, 12 years and how many more people are open to seeing this as the future. You know, this is really being the future, you know. You know, I mean, I'm not sure if I got the book here, but I mean, Robert Kiyosaki wrote a book, you know, called, you know, it's the new business, you know, it's the business of the 21st century. So thank you very much. And I love what Gary and Nicola shared a little bit earlier about, you know, there's just this whole thing about freedom. It's one thing to make an income, but it's another thing to have your time and have financial independence. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why, you know, even for me, why I'm doing Manatech is just to have my time freedom, being able to build up something which you can actually leave to your children's children, you know, by the work that you're doing now. So next up, I'm going to ask Helena and Neil to share. Helena and Neil I've known them probably the longest that I've known anyone on this call this evening. I've known them probably since I was, you know, well, I didn't know them when I was born, but at least I'm sure they probably saw me when I was like 1 year old. So I've known them for probably 32 years. And also a great couple, different in a lot of people's lives. So Neil, Elena, over to you.
Thank you, JP, and good evening, everyone. It's awesome to be on the call with everyone. JP, I must say, you are such an amazing leader. It's just so easy to follow you because you're always excited and you're always leading from the front, sort of giving off that positivity and that energy that makes us all excited. Just a little bit about Neil and myself. We live on a farm right next to town in Oudtshoorn, and we were definitely not looking for an opportunity when JP's mother, who was my friend, still is my friend, came to visit on the farm and offered us the opportunity. But I think because we were just too busy and we didn't really understand the concept of network marketing, and neither did we understand how necessary supplementation is. And but luckily we took the time to listen to her and we trusted her, and we saw that there was absolutely no risk in getting involved in this business. So we got involved in on Spring Day 2008. So on next Tuesday, it will be our 12th anniversary. And it's really been an absolute blessing for us. We got involved. We really didn't have a lot of time to put into it for the first 6 months. But after it got more and more involved, it became clear that the more time and effort you put into it, the more you will earn. I mean, people sometimes do it as a hobby, but if you want to see this as a business, there's a whole system in place that you can follow and make a success of it. And for me, I think the first thing that really got me excited was when JP's mum said, you know, we're just going to have fun. We're going to meet a lot of nice people and we're going to travel the world. And boy, oh boy, I mean, that's really come true for us. We've been to so many places. I can't name it all now, but I mean, some of the highlights are definitely Hawaii. I mean, for people living on a farm in Oudtshoorn, we've been to Hawaii twice, paid by Manatech. We've been to different states in America. We've seen the head office in Dallas, Texas of Manatech, met all the top structure people. We've been on a cruise in the Bahamas. We've been to Maldives, to so many other places that I can't mention all of it now. But all in all, it's been much more than what we bargained for. It's really been a blessing to our health. It's been a blessing to our relationship. It's been a blessing to have a team of people that's working with us. That's really, because you can't achieve this without a team that's amazing. And I want to thank our team for always being there and always just putting in effort and building your businesses. So from me, I think it's never been a better time. We've seen it in this time that this business, we've always been saying it for the last 12 years, it's the best business to be in because it's in wellness and it's online. But I can tell you in this lockdown time, we saw it even more. We experienced it, that this was about one of the few businesses that I know that grew in this time. So I want to tell everybody who's new on this call, really give it a good look at it. Have an open mind, and there's nothing to be scared of. If you know nothing about network marketing, nothing about wellness, we knew nothing, don't worry about it, just get excited, ask the person who invited you to this call what you should know, what you should do, and you will get support and you can be successful in this amazing business and make a huge difference to many people's lives. Thank you, Japes. Over to my partner in life and in business.
Thanks, JP, for the opportunity, and thanks for being such a great coach to us and meaning so much for our business. We really appreciate that. So just a few things from me, 3 or 4 points. Manatech has really brought stability into our lives. You know, we started this business, and I, in my wildest dreams, never, you know, thought that or could imagine what this business, what this company, what the friendships could actually mean to us. You know, we were in different businesses. We tried a lot of things. There's a saying called, "You like an octopus on a roller skate." You know, you're trying to be all over the place. And the reason for that is I think everybody wants to try and bring stability into their lives. You know, you've got a farm and you think, oh man, I'm volunteering, but the milk price is like a seesaw. It's up and down, and it's controlled by the Italians of Parmalat, and it's controlled by this one is controlled. You know, you actually just on the bottom end of it. And then with the oxygen industry, we also had a lot of challenges. You know, I mean, conventional business is very risky and it's very challenging. And a lot of the challenges that you have with that, it's really out of your hands. You actually don't really have control. You know, you're doing your best, but there's so many outside interventions that you don't have control of. So another thing I've learned is control your action and control your attitude. That's the only 2 things you can control, and that's really what I've learned in this business. The other thing is it's really given us peace of mind. You know, we are generating a income which is now a passive income. We haven't yet arrived, and it doesn't matter. We don't want to. It's not as we don't. No, we want to arrive, but not as if, you know, you never do arrive in this business, because we're students. We love it. We learn. We're in the business of helping people, and by helping enough people, you help yourself. So this is something that you can do, and it'll keep you busy. And the third thing is that it gives you purpose, because by helping people, you know, with every order that someone puts in, it creates enough volume for the company to provide a phytoblend powder to children under the age of 5, which is our mission 5 million mission, and that is to eradicate malnutrition in children under the age of 5. 5 million children that are dying every year all over the world. And I think in South Africa we're feeding, I speak under correction, 20,000 children, maybe even more, 25,000 children. I could be out with a couple of thousand, but I think it's so awesome. And it's so great to be part of something much bigger than yourself, you know. So those couple of points really, yeah, I think are so special. You know, stability, purpose, financial freedom, wellness, and yeah, it's great for us. So JP, thanks so much that we could share tonight, and back to you.
Bye-bye.
Neil, Elena, thank you very, very much. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I remember once you guys were sharing about, I think what Manatech has spent on incentives, just investing in you guys, obviously with all these incentive trips, you've been all over the world. And that's obviously one of the other big reasons why people get involved in Manatech is because of the traveling and being able to, you know, I mean, if I just look back over the last sort of 3-4 years, I mean, we've been, last year was Italy. I mean, what an amazing time we had there. The year before was the Maldives, and I believe the year before that was Mauritius. So there's always nice incentives that are happening, and obviously all of you can qualify. In fact, this year's incentive is now ending, you know, on the 31st of August. But there'll be another incentive that will be coming up as well. So thank you very much, Neil, Elena. Thank you. I appreciate it. So next up, I've got also a very special lady, Elena Ferreira. In fact, I met this lady the first time in Dallas. I'd never met her previously, and she came on that trip with Hilda Marais. And I remember her asking me, listen, well, I can do a home meeting in Senegal. I'd never even heard of Senegal before. But I was somewhere in the Free State, I think the North or the West Free State, I don't know, but I didn't even know there was North, East, South, and West Free State, but apparently there is. And I remember this lady, the first meeting, we had at her home, I think there was about 10 or 15 people at the first one, the next one was about 10 or 15 people, and the next one was like also 10 or 15 people. And it's amazing, you know, Delena, if I had to do that trip again, I'll do it over and over again. You know, I'm sure there's still lots more people out there just like you looking for an opportunity. And that's the amazing thing about this is that, you know, all that you need to do is ask someone to open to take a look at what we're doing. And you were obviously open, and man, you have also made such a massive impact. I don't think you always realize the big difference you're making in so many people's lives, especially women. I think you've really had you know, you've really been able to inspire and empower so many women, you know, in South Africa, and you're living such a great example to so many people out there. And yeah, so Delena, over to you.
Thank you so much, JP. What a wonderful privilege. It's the center of the Free State, Senegal. Yeah, I'm so grateful and so thankful for this opportunity, and thank you so much for the privilege to be part of Manatech. And I want to thank our silver presidential couple, Jacques and Hilda Marais from Douglas. And I also want to say thank you to and Arlette Marie van Zyl, and to you, JP. You are the first persons to come to Senegal to help me with that home meetings, and I will never ever in my life forget that, because that was the most life-changing experiences of my life. So my why is I love people, I really do, and I love changing people's lives. And I love the restoration of people in their spirit, their souls, and their bodies. And I love to empower them to reach their full potential. And it was in April 2016 in Dallas, Texas, when Dr. Steve was standing on the stage, and he had a pot of ambrotose in his hand, and he said the following. He said, if you can ever know what is in this pot, you will never ever stop telling people, because that will change their lives forever. And man, there the penny was dropping for me. That was the thing, the missing link that I always was looking for. How can I help you to get your body in a healthy condition. And the balanced life, I believe in a balanced life. I believe in the holistic lifestyle. And when I came back, we did the house meeting, and I say yes. As Nicola said, Sir Richard Branson, he's my favorite. He said, if someone offers you this opportunity and you think you cannot do it, just say yes. And I say yes for the most wonderful thing that I knew nothing about. And step by step, I discover what it is all about. And I was amazed. The Mission 5 Million thing catch me in my heart. So that is one of my whys. The other thing is the relationships with people, the teams. I was so glad that I didn't have to do this on my own, because then I would never have said yes for this. And the team thing, the relationships, the leadership skills that I had to learn. And I discovered that in Manatech, this is the company with the most integrity I've ever been. And positivity, the energy, the respect, and the trust. You know what? I said yes to Hilda, not to a product, not to a company, I knew nothing. I don't even knew how to work a computer. So, and that was the amazing thing. I said yes for mentorship, for coaching, for leadership. And that was awesome. That is still awesome for me, still today. And then the self-development system. I had to start reading books. Oh my goodness. I've never read books about business. And that was also a challenge for me, but step by step, I learn a lot. And it is life-changing. That is a thing that transformed my whole life. And the CDs that I had to listen, and then the meetings. My why is the meetings, because there's such an energy and there's such an empowerment that is happening at every meeting. So that was wonderful. And the other why is, this is a legacy company. I can leave it for my children and my grandchildren and my grandchildren. And this is a company of hope. I said yes for hope, bringing hope to people. And helping and loving people will always be my biggest why. And you know what? This is a step by step, day by day, doing the small things consistently, and you will reach success. So from my side, thank you so much, JP. I really do appreciate you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Fantastic, Hilda. You are from the Central Free State now. I concur. So basically, you know, thank you very much, all of you sharing. I always feel it's so important to have a few people share, because you know we relate to different types of people. So my job this evening is just going to be to just excuse the light at the top. I'm going to have to get a different type of light, I guess, in the future. So if my hair is cut off of half my head, then you know why. But anyways, what I want to share with all of you this evening is that, you know, 12 years ago, one of my best friends at university, we played rugby together, and his mother was a medical doctor, and she told me a little bit about the product, and you know the miracles that people were seeing. And you know, back when I started, it was about $1,000 to get involved. I mean, can you imagine being 22 years old and having to ask your mom for a credit card to swipe it for 15? Well, back then it was like almost 15,000 rand. You know, because you had to pay the import duties, the custom duties, the rand dollar was changing all the time. So for me, I think one of the disadvantages for people getting started today is that, you know, you don't really have that massive investment up front to really build your business. So I want, if you're on the call this evening and you're looking for a business opportunity, or you're looking forward to extra income and you're looking to do this from a serious point of view, is you've got to see it as like you're investing, like you're mortgaging your house to start your business, because then you're not willing to just give up when you've spoken to one or two people about the product or the opportunity. You're willing to talk to large numbers of people. And I've always shared with people, you know, there's the day you sign up, and there's actually the day you decide to start building the business. So, and that's obviously what I'm going to cover this evening, is building the business. But I can tell you something that, you know, Manatech has changed my life in so many ways. You know, if a fortune teller, you know, had to sit with me when I was 22 years old and told me, listen, this is what's going to transpire over the next 10 or 12 years, you know, I would have just not believed it. I just wouldn't have believed it. I mean, you know, it's very, very easy looking back in hindsight, but maybe you're on the call this evening, and maybe tonight is your grand opening. It's your first time on the call here, where you've got to make a decision where you're going to say, am I going to do this? Am I not going to do this? Am I going to, you know, am I actually really, because there's a difference between doing it and doing it. I think a lot of people try the business, but they don't do the business. You know, they treat it like a hobby and then get a hobby income, and they don't understand why it doesn't work. So, but I want to tell you this evening that if you want to change your life, and if you want to, you know, make sure the next 5 years are better than the last 5 years, then you're on the right call this evening, because this evening is all about presenting an opportunity to you, and that is only what it is. It's an opportunity, and for you to decide what you're going to do with that opportunity. So for me, I decided to really go out and speak to as many people as I can, and I realized that, you know, in the beginning, probably, you know, I don't share this often, but I think in the beginning, I probably built the business a little bit more for, you know, proving people wrong, because I had so many of my friends say to me, oh, it's a scam, you can lose your money, don't get involved, all these different things. And it's almost amazing is that in the beginning, I almost stopped building the business. I almost quit the business because I was so worried about other people's opinions. So what I'm going to share with all of you this evening is that there's a reason why there's a system. And we've got an amazing system with Manitic. We can actually change your mindset, because if you don't change your mindset, you can have these grandeur, these great ideas, these, you know, these great dreams that you have. But if you're not willing to change, then things are not going to change for you. You know, to go up in life, you've got to be willing to give up. And I want to ask you this evening, if you're seeing this as your future, if this is something we're going to do for the next 5 to 10 years, now financial independence, what are you willing to give up? Because I see loads of people sign up, but they're not on the call this evening. I see loads of people sign up, but they're not on the training. They're not on the Monday webinar. They're not willing to listen to the Toms. They're not willing to, you know, to really plug in, because, you know, and the problem with that is that, you know, for things to change, you've got to change. You've got to become a better version of yourself. And all of us can learn and grow. And that's the great thing about this. There's a group of people around you that are going to be willing to support you and guide you and help you, so you can become the best version of yourself. And when you become the best version of yourself, you can actually go out there and go and change people's lives. And that's what really Manitic's all about. I mean, our slogan is transform your life, you know, but you can't transform other people's lives if you don't first start with transforming your own life. And yeah, I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm not going to go into all the, you know, this evening's not about me sharing about, you know, trips and, you know, my success story. Tonight's really about you sitting there on the other side of the computer, wherever you are in South Africa or even other markets in the world. It's about you saying, you know what, I'm now, you know, today is the, you know, 27th of August, and I want to make sure that the next 5 years are going to be different to the last 5 years. And I'm going to say to you, if you want the next 5 years to be different, is you've got to be willing to change and say, listen here, I'm going to decide to go with Manitic, because it's a company of integrity. It's a company of, it's a legacy company, and I'm going to build this for my family. I want to build this for myself, and I'm going to go out there because I want to make an impact in the world. And that's what this is all about. You know, we're not just a fly-by-night company. We're not just a company that started last week and now we, you know, excited about it. I mean, I've been doing this for 12 years. I mean, it was so interesting. Just tell you a story. I'm selling one of my properties in Cape Town, and I spoke to a guy who sold me the property, and he said, "Oh, are you still doing Manitic, you know?" And I said, "Yeah, no, it's going fantastic. You know, things are really, really going well." He said, "You know, but because I knew he'd previously been involved in network marketing as well. But the problem is that he's done like about 6 or 7 different companies. In the last like 6 years I've known him. I've only been with one company, and I'm still doing the same company for the last, you know, 12 years. And it's always so interesting if people say to you, you know, no, but this new company they're doing now, this is now the next big thing. Or this new company, this is now going to be easier to do. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not easier to do. It's not, there's no easy way to make a success. It's about changing yourself and growing yourself and believing in your opportunity that you have. And I can honestly share with all of you, after doing this for 12 years, is that I know I'm at the right place, at the right time, with the right people. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just do a quick screen share, and it's going to be literally 10 pages, and we're going to cover this very, very quickly. And, you know, I obviously just put this on the first slide, because what is the thing that's keeping 96% of people awake at night is their health and their finances. So obviously that's what Manitic's all about, health and finances. So the next thing for me that I just want to share with all of you, and I think a lot of people don't understand this, is understanding leverage, understanding the cash flow quadrant. Now, Robert Kiyosaki wrote a book. The first book was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And the second book was called The Cash Flow Quadrant. And I think it's probably one of the most misunderstood books, because people don't really understand what the quadrant's all about. And all of us on this call this evening, if you're part of Manatech, if you're looking at this as an opportunity, you're on one of these quadrants. Now, there's 4 different quadrants. There's the E quadrant, the S quadrant, the B quadrant, and the I quadrant. Now, the reality about this is that 90% of the people are in the E and the S quadrant. Now, the problem with being in the E quadrant, which is being an employee, is that you trade time for money. So if you don't work, you've got no income. The other problem we've got here is the more you earn, the more you pay in tax. So the harder you work, the more you pay. So, you know, so a lot of people are obviously employees. I mean, the majority of people are employees. We've got you know, a boss that we work for, a company we work for, and they pay us a salary. So they're saying, okay, well, we'll pay you 10,000 a month because we believe that your 160 hours that you're working per month is worth this much, and that's what we'll pay you, or 20,000 or 40,000 or whatever it may be. Now, a lot of people make the transition to move into the S quadrant, which is the self-employed. But the problem is you're still trading time for money. You are your own, you know, you know, obviously now you've got you're a doctor, or you're a chartered accountant, or whatever you are. Maybe you've got your own business. The problem is that when you're not there, there's no income. So you're still dependent on, you know, trading time for money, because you are the business. Now, what Robert Kiyosaki was really talking about is all of us moving towards, or at least part-time starting something where we're moving over to the right side of the quadrant, which is the B and the I quadrant. Now, the B quadrant is for the business owner. And the key thing with a business owner, if you think about it like this, if you've got 500 employees working for you, and they're each working 8 hours per day, I mean, then you're working 4,000 hours, or at least you're being paid as the business owner on 4,000 hours for the day. Now you go and times that by, you know, by 20 working days. I mean, you do the math. I mean, that's 80,000 hours you're being paid on per month. And that's why the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, because you've got to understand the principle of leverage, because 90% of the wealth is on the right-hand side of the quadrant, which is in the B quadrant, because you've got now leverage. And of course, the I quadrant is, you know, where you are an investor, where you've obviously now made your money, but you're now utilizing your money to actually make your money work for you, so you can create a passive income. So this evening is very, very specifically about becoming a B business owner. And in fact, Robert Kiyosaki, in his book, Business of the 21st Century, talks about 3 different ways that people can become business owners. Now, the first way of becoming a business owner is obviously starting your own business. Might be a little small business that you start. I mean, so that's definitely, that's the first way. The second way he speaks about is franchising. Now, franchising doesn't cost, you know, 500 Rand to start a franchise. It costs like maybe 500,000 or 1 million or 5 million. And most people, at least for me, you know, what I've seen is most people haven't got 5 million Rand lying around to start their own franchise business, just to buy into a KFC or McDonald's or, you know, whatever franchise it may be. So for most people, that doesn't even give them the option. But if you look at the business model we've got, it gives so many people out there, the average ordinary people, the opportunity to start their own business. I mean, and that's, for me, is also one of the challenges with what we have, is because a lot of people are not entrepreneurially minded. They sign up with Manatech, or they start their own business, but then they want to be told what to do. It's almost like, I almost feel like, for me, is that if we told people in Manatech, let's say if you don't talk to like one person a day about your business, you're going to be terminated by the company. It's like more people would make a success, because actually we go out there and go and talk to people, because we are in a network marketing business. So it's very, very important is that when you become a business owner, when you become an associate with a company, is treated like a business owner. Treated like you are the CEO of your own company. And you want to get the best board of directors, and who the best board of directors you can get on board are the people that can actually go out there and go and talk to people about the opportunity, people that understand the product, people that can actually duplicate and that can actually leverage. So that's really what a business owner is all about. And obviously all of us strive to be an investor. For me, the best thing is to become a business owner, build up your residual income through obviously creating a passive income, and then using your passive income to create more passive income. So you're leveraging your leverage, as I always say to people. And that's when you can create true freedom, where you can have actually multiple sources of income. And when I'm talking about multiple streams of income, I'm not saying do 2 different network marketing companies. What I'm really talking about is focusing on one business, because remember, the man that chases 2 rabbits catches neither. You focus on building your Manatech business part-time. You might even be on the score here, carry on being an employee, carrying on being you're being self-employed, or being a specialist, or, you know, having your own business, but just do Manatech on the side, because the key thing is dig your well before you thirsty. Don't wait till, you know, that you are down and out, now you want to build a managed business. Build it if things are going very, very well and you on a very, very comfortable position. I think Neil and Elena are such an amazing testament to that, where they started building their business while they were already successful. You know, and they, I mean, I'm sure if you listen to their CD, they'll, you know, allude to the fact, you know, what this business meant to them when they went through, you know, their challenging times in their conventional business. So on to the next slide. So why Manatech? For me, it's really just 4 things for me specifically about the company. The first thing is this company was founded in 1994. So we're not a fly-by-night company. I mean, we've been in business for 26 years now. I mean, so we've got a track record. I mean, we've been doing business for 26 years. I mean, as maybe if you're on the call this evening, maybe you don't realize it, but most businesses, new businesses, don't make it through the first year. In fact, fewer businesses make it to 5 years. In fact, of all startups, less than 10% of those companies make it to 5 years. Now, we've been in business for 25, 26 years. I mean, for me, just absolutely incredible. Being able to build a global business. Now, think about this. Now, all of us living in South Africa, we, you know, a lot of people are saying, oh, should we be putting money offshore? But the, you know, the rand dollar is maybe a little bit too, you know, the rand's a bit weak against the dollar at the moment. But all of us know we should be putting money offshore. Now, the problem that we have in South Africa is that we don't always know what the future holds in store. And I'm not being pessimistic. I'm being realistic now. But I'm also bringing with you exciting news in the fact that, yeah, we're living in South Africa. I mean, I don't want to live anywhere else in the world but in South Africa. But the great thing is I could be living in South Africa, but I could be building a business in the UK. I can be building a business in Australia. I can be building a business in New Zealand, in Europe, in America, in Canada. I mean, it's so exciting to be part of something like that. I mean, I'm, you know, just on this, you know, I've got a girl in the school this evening. She's in the UK. She's going to become a brand new executive director, you know, this month. But how amazing is that? So she's building a business in the UK, but she's still part of our group here in South Africa. I mean, it's so exciting to be able to be in South Africa, but being able to have clients in Singapore, be able to have clients in Mexico, or, you know, maybe in, you know, America, wherever you might know people. So you are not an agent, you know, where you are a distributor for a certain area of South Africa. You are a global agent. Wherever you know people, you can build your business. So for me, that is so, so exciting because, you know, and I'll share a quick story with you. So my father's a farmer, you know, and I mean, the thing, the reality is that my dad can't just take his farm and move it to Australia or move it to Europe or move it to Argentina or wherever. But, you know, my dad was saying to other, that's so amazing because my business is wherever my phone is. If Manatech's doing business there, wherever my phone is, that's where my business is. My business is not in any country. My business is online. It's on the internet. It's wherever I am. It's wherever I know someone. So you are really a global agent for the company. I mean, and I want you to think about something this evening. Think about how many South Africans, every single one of us in the school here, how many South Africans do we know living in Australia? There's over 150,000 South Africans living in Australasia. Australasia obviously being Australia and New Zealand. And I might be, I mean, I'm maybe need to check up on my more recent facts, but that last time I checked that was what I saw. How many South Africans living in the UK and Europe? 500,000, a million? How many South Africans are living in America and Canada? I know all the doctors obviously living in Canada. So if you, I mean, all of us know a doctor living in Canada. But I mean, how amazing is that you know, yeah, I can live in South Africa, but every single one of us in the call, you have the opportunity to build international business. Next thing is us being a public company. I don't think people always realize the amazing, you know, benefit of this, or at least, you know, how legitimate this makes Manatech. I mean, we've been a public company since 1999. We've been a public company for 21 years. What does that mean? So you might be sitting in the call and saying, well, why is it even important? Well, why that's important is because we listed on the NASDAQ, which is, by the way, the second biggest stock exchange in the world. And we've got institutional investors. We've got, you know, companies or, you know, financial houses that invest in Manatech. We are audited 4 times a year. We got all these regulations we've got to comply with. You know, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, the SEC, which is the Security Exchange Control. So Manatech can't do anything that's dodgy. So for me, it's always nice to be part of a company that at least is got all the ducks in a row. We don't take chances. We don't take chances with the product. We don't take chances with the compensation plan. We make sure that everything that we do is above board. We are almost, you know, it's almost draconian regulations, if I can call it that. But you know what? It's a benefit for us and for me and for everyone on the call here this evening. We're also a member of the Direct Selling Association, not only in the US, but also in South Africa and major other markets as well, Australasia and Canada and so forth. So which means the Direct Selling Association is an independent party that looks at your company, looks at your product, looks at your compensation plan, and make sure that you're a legitimate company. And they put their stamp of approval on there and say, listen, we are happy with this company. We are, we feel that, we've done our due diligence and we're willing to endorse this company and support them. So we're obviously part of the Direct Selling Association. Now, I want to just quickly talk to you about 3 different parts of the company. So the first part is obviously we're in the health and wellness industry. Now, obviously that's a massive, industry that's growing. I mean, by leaps and bounds. Just since COVID, obviously everyone knows that not retail sales so much, but obviously sales of online sales at least has increased rapidly. I mean, more than between 30 and 50%. But the sale in that segment of vitamins and minerals has gone up by over 160%, because more and more people now know that our immune systems are important, and we should be investing in good supplementation, and looking after our bodies. So the key thing with Manatech, just quickly, is that our products are patented, they're proprietary, you can't buy them anywhere else. We've got now over 141 patents and counting. We've got the science to prove it. We've done now officially got 20 published clinical trials on our product. And the exciting part about that is that, that we do research, we do peer-reviewed clinical trials. I had a lady in health and wellness at my meeting last night, and she was so impressed that she could actually go on PubMed and have a look at the clinical trials. And, because most companies don't do it because it's not a requirement in the industry. But Manatech is a research and development company. We're a science company. We've also got a massively disruptive technology, which is also very, very important, because if you go and Google Manatech, guess what? You're going to see some negative things, but you can see lots of positive things. You know why you see negative things? Because of our patents that we've got. No one else can make it. And obviously because of our science. And so that's why you see some negative things if you do go Google Manatech. But I mean, the majority of the things are positive. And because remember, it's like we've got the trade secret. It's almost like having the trade secret of Coca-Cola. You're not going to have Pepsi and Virgin Cola saying, oh my word, Coca-Cola's got the best, cola out there. It's really like, we've got our stuff's patented. So we're very, very, we're a massive threat, to companies out there. And then of course we've got the guarantee of a 90-day money back satisfaction guarantee. So we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're saying to people, try the product for 90 days. If you're not satisfied, we'll give you a refund. So the products are free unless they work for you. Very often people say to me, JP, how much does the product cost? Well, it's free unless it works for you. I mean, that's the bottom line. Now, the key thing is what I want to share with you is that if you are going to use the product for 90 days, because we offer a 90-day money-back guarantee. So don't just try it for 1 week or 1 month. Make a commitment to try it for at least 90 days. Neil mentioned a little bit earlier about the Mission 5 Million Foundation. Basically, what that means is that every single month that you use the product, we will nourish a child on the fighter blend powder for a whole month as well. So you, just by helping yourself get older and be more optimally well, you can help a child also have a better quality of life. And then, of course, the third pillar to Manatech is the business, which is the industry that's growing very, very rapidly. But the key thing here is really 4 points. One time, the first is that it's part-time, it's your own business, there's low startup costs, you can build a national business, and it's turnkey, as Gary mentioned earlier. Now, at the bottom of the slide, you'll see there, I talk about traditional and word of mouth. So if you look at a traditional distribution model, really what's happening is about 20% of the money is going towards production. So think about my iPhone over here. How much does the iPhone cost to make? So let's assume this phone costs 20,000 Rand. It probably costs between 2,000 and 4,000 Rand to make. But why do I have to pay 20,000 Rand for it in the shop? Because a lot of the money went to distribution. It went into import duties. It went into advertising. It went into marketing. It went into all these different things. And you and I end up paying 100% for the product. So how Manatech's distribution model works is we take 50-60% of the turnover of the product, of the company, and put that towards product development to make sure we bring the best possible products to market. So we put it into R&D, and obviously also to run the company and to make sure we've got offices all over the world. And we take the other 44% of the money, we pay it out to people like me and you to go out there and go and talk to people about it, which in turn allows, number one, us to get the product for free, and number two, it allows us to build a part-time business. And the key thing that people don't realize with this, and I mentioned this in my presentation last night, is that when you go to a wellness warehouse and you buy a product, number one, you've got a lady there or a guy selling you a product that they probably haven't even taken. Number two, how does the customer relationship work? Because now you buy the product, who's going to follow up if you're taking your product correctly? Who's going to follow up to make sure maybe did you get a corrective response? Maybe this product's not working for you. Let's tweak it. Let's change it. And number three, you've actually got someone that's what I like to call a prosumer. They're sharing the product with people, but they're also a consumer of the product themselves. And that's why this model just makes so much more sense. And I think everyone on the call would agree that word of mouth marketing is the future, whether we like it or not. That is where things are going. People trust recommendations way more than traditional advertising and marketing. So we've basically got 4 product segments. The first is integrative health, which is your vitamins, minerals. It's your, our flagship product called Abraxose, which has got, so many patents on it, it's got so much science on it. It just helps the cognitive function, digestive function, immune function. I mean, we've got, so that basically is your integrative health. Then we've got targeted health, which is your pre and probiotics and, immune supporting products, our omegas. So I'm not going to go through all the products. We've got about 25 products. I'm just seeing here we're running out of time. And then we've got weight fitness, or weight and fitness, or what I like to call weight management. And then we've got skincare as well. So just because of time, I'm going to just quickly, I'm just going to quickly cover this slide over here, and then I'm going to just go straight towards the business. So the first thing regarding us being the company of science is that our products are NSF approved, which means we tested by a third party to say whatever we're saying is on the label is in fact tested to be in the product. That's the first thing. That's called the NSF approval for purity and safety. The next thing, this now says 17 human clinical trials. That is now 20. So we've got more clinical trials. Our latest one coming out of the University of Memphis on showing what the product does for gut health and also for immune function. Our products are made under good manufacturing practices, which means it's not made in a garage somewhere. It's actually made in a state-of-the-art analytical chemistry lab, basically under the same standards as pharmaceutical drugs. So we're a nutraceutical company. The fourth point is we discovered glycans and pioneered glycobiology. Glycans is a study of cell-to-cell communication, and it's really this, the National Academy of Sciences is saying it's needed for every single function in the human body. So this is just most people have heard of essential fatty acids, amino acids. We're the first nutritional company to bring a whole new class of nutrients to market called glycans or glyconutrients. We've got a scientific advisory board with scientists and doctors that advise us on new technology we should be looking at. And then, of course, we've got now over 140 patents, which is also very, very exciting. So we are backing our product, we believe in our product, and of course, we've got the 90-day money-back guarantee. So just quickly, so how do you, how do you get on board with Manatech? So that's maybe what you're thinking of this evening. So there's 2 different types of people that get on board. The first person that gets on board with Manatech is someone saying, listen, I want to be a customer of the product. I'm not looking for extra income right now, but I'd love to try the product. Now, the first thing is there's no joining fees. The second thing is you can earn loyalty points up to 20% on your automatic orders when you're ordering the product every month. The third thing is that you buy the products wholesale. So no one gets a better deal on the product. We all pay the same. And of course, the fourth point, which I'm very excited about, is as a customer, you can now refer other customers and get 25% back or whatever they're ordering, allowing you to get your product for free. So think about it like this. If you're using 1,000 rands worth of products and you've got 4 people that you refer that also use 1,000 rands worth of products, your products are for free, because it's 4 people you referred using what you're using. So, so unfortunately with customers, we can't pay them out in cash, but we give them loyalty points, which is basically points that they can use for free products. Now, the next way you get on board is being an associate. I'm sure you're on the call this evening to find out a little bit more about being an associate. Now, you pay an associate fee of about 600 Rand with your starter kit and so forth. Probably work out around 750 Rand. You then buy whatever products you'd like to use. You also earn the 20% loyalty points, on your automatic orders. You also buy the products at wholesale. But the nice thing is, now is that you get to qualify for incentives. To start a business for 750 Rand is not really a lot of money. Remember what I said to all of you earlier? When I started with Manatech, it cost 15,000 Rand. So it's basically now, I paid basically 20 times more than most of the people in the call here to start my business, and this was back in 2008. But you also get access to the business, and there's 6 different ways that we pay out. The one is in customer commissions. The next one is in the first order bonus. And there's a mentoring bonus. And there's junior level commissions. There's leadership check match, and of course there's a global bonus pool, which means when you get a certain rank, you share in all the turnover taking place in the company. So just quickly, so what's the next step? So if you're going to be an associate, you get on board with Manatech, and the first thing that you want to do is you want to get some people to try some product and include your own orders. So the first thing is, let's assume that you do 500 points. So because we do business in so many markets, we've got a point structure, basically on 500 points, if you do that in your first month, your commissions on that should be around 1,500 Rand, to give you an idea. But let's assume now that you help 2 other people that are also associates do the same thing. Of course, they will earn the 1,500 Rand, but you'll now earn a few other commissions. So you'll probably earn, for doing that, around between 2,500 Rand and about 5,000 Rand. And you're now called the director. Now let's assume you have 4 people do the same thing. You're called a silver director. Now you're earning anything from 2,500 Rand, which can be all the way up to 8,000 Rand with all the other bonuses that we obviously pay out. Of course, the next step from there is becoming an executive director, which is 6,000 points. Executives earn, from a residual point of view, anything from 3,500 Rand to 10,000 Rand. And then, of course, if you had to duplicate the second step, which is silver director, you would become a silver executive director, which is about anything from 7,500 Rand to about 20,000 Rand. And there's another little step in between called gold executive director, which is 20,000 points, and they earn between 15,000 and 30,000 Rand a month. And of course, then you would like to become a presidential director, which is the next step. And presidential directors earn anything from 30,000 Rand to about 60,000 Rand a month. And I mean, what a difference that makes for so many people out there. And then, of course, I'm just going to quickly run through the next levels as we're running out of time. But bronze presidential, around 80,000 Rand a month. Silver presidential, around 120,000 a month. Gold presidential, around 160. And of course, platinum presidential, around 250,000 a month. And obviously can be way more than that. So I hope that was a massive value. Thank you so much for being on the call this evening, and have a good evening.